Let's get into today's episode of Why We Succeed. What is going on, you guys? Welcome to a new episode of Why We Succeed. I'm Immanuel, and today I'm joined with a very special guest, none other than my girl, Kristen R. Harris. What's up, Kristen?
What's going on? Thank you so much for having me. You know, it's always a joy when I can come and chat with you.
Oh man, Kristen, you are one of the best. And I'm not afraid of saying this, even publicly. You know, people know I've had previous podcasts, Right to Real Love, and you are definitely one of my favorite guests. Click, I put it out there for everybody to see. Now they just hear me say it. They can see me say it now. Like, Kristen R. Harris is one of the best guests that was ever on Right to Real Love Radio. Period.
Oh my goodness. Well, you know what? I think the feeling is mutual because I've told you in the past, you are a phenomenal host. So it's always a pleasure to come down here. But let me just say that has just put a lot of pressure on me because now they're like, oh, okay, what's she gonna say?
No pressure. No pressure at all. Yo, this is all love, man. This is all love. You like family to me.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and I mean, your podcast, I'm grateful to have had the opportunity to come on there. You know, God did put you up on game and you be dropping so many gems on us, and I love it.
Oh, yes. Speaking of God, look, can I say something real quick? I'm sorry, I don't want to take this, but you know, God put me up on game. Let me just say we were nominated as for one of the best Black religion and spirituality podcast. So I just want to drop that. That was we didn't win, but we were the top 3. So I'm super excited about that. Yes,
you close to the top. Only got 2 more spots and you coming for it.
Hey.
Yo, keep up that amazing work. You know, I had such a blast coming on the show and, you know, just seeing the work that you're doing, the impact that it's making. Just keep at it, man. Keep at it. You already know you blessing so many women. We're going to get into that. You know, they saw the title. You a mother of 3. You done wrote multiple books and ghostwritten for a celebrity. I mean, like, Kristen, like you out here just, you doing your thing, right?
Yes. You know, all by the grace of God.
All by the grace of God. That's facts right there. So I'm curious, when we look at that fact that you had the opportunity to ghostwrite for a celebrity, how did that make you feel? Like right now, knowing that that's something that you've done, you can kind of be like, yeah, I checked that box, did that. How does it make you feel?
You know what? I think in the middle of it, while I was in the process, I did not realize how major it was because I was so focused on getting to the end. And I think that a lot of times, and I say this often, that when we do something and it's come so easily to us, we don't recognize it as special. And so I didn't even recognize it in that moment as special and as this major opportunity and as this gift from God. But now looking back, I'm like, girl, you did that, you know?
Yes.
So and it was such a gratifying process. I wish I could tell you, you know, anytime I talk about this, I wish I could say who it is, but I can't because of the legal ramifications. But just being able to tap into that level and to hear, I will say it was a young lady. So to hear her story and the way that I do my ghostwriting process is I sit down and I literally have to interview you and I have to wear your life. And I think that even with that people don't understand ghostwriting is it's a tough process because I have to become you in the process. Yeah,
that's
I have
tough.
to take on your feelings. I have to feel what you felt in that moment of pain. I have to feel what you felt in that divorce or in that abuse or whatever it is that you've gone through. And so as I walked through her journey, like I said, I didn't even realize the weight of that assignment. But when I got on the other side and looked back, I was like, wow, that was amazing.
Oh, man. And you're so right about one thing that stood out to me when you were speaking is how oftentimes when we're working on a project or, you know, building a business or, you know, pick anything that a person is trying to accomplish and they get to the end, but we often, as you mentioned, we miss it when we're going through that process. And I've definitely been there before, you know, so focused on the end goal where it's like, I'll use an example. Like if I'm working on an audiobook or something, during the process, I'm like, yo, I just got to get this thing done. You know, like it is a long book. It's a lot of work. And, you know, like I can always at the end sit back and be like, oh, man, like, yo, that turned out dope.
Yeah.
But in the moment, I'll be like, it's hard to sit back and like just enjoy that process. Like, man, somebody has entrusted me with being the voice to their book, bringing these characters to life. And similar to you, like you mentioned, trust me, reading an audio book don't compare to ghostwriting, because I don't have to become the characters. All I got to do is, just change the tone of my voice a little bit and, keep it reading. But man, I can't imagine. And I never even considered the fact that, like you said, you have to almost become that person to an extent in order to be able to write in their voice and convey what their experiences was, and ultimately the message that they want to convey to the reader as well.
Yeah. It's a really interesting process. And I think the funny thing is, her project was my very first ghostwriting project.
Wow. Yo, look at that.
I had no idea what I was getting into. Yes. Oh my goodness. And I was like, wow, this is intense. But I mean, like I said, just going back and looking over it now that we're done is just, it was amazing. And I'm happy that God opened that door and then made me realize that I was even able to do that, because like it was nothing that I had ever done before. So it just opened me up to a new level, a new stream in my business.
Yeah. That's so dope. It reminds me of a conversation I was having with a young lady named Sarah. She's going to be a guest on the podcast soon too. And she was talking about how important it is for us to say yes and say it often. And I couldn't help but think about that. You never ghostwritten, and then you get the opportunity. It's for a celebrity. So, like the pressure to put quality work out there is on you. And the fact that you said yes, I couldn't help but just think about, that conversation she and I had earlier this week. And, that definitely resonates, say yes. And sometimes people are scared to do that.
Yeah. Your yes, it unlocks the door to the next level. And we often are not asked a question based on the next level. We're asked where we are. And so when you say that yes, where you are, and oftentimes it's still uncomfortable. It's not on the next level, but it takes you just a little bit out of your comfort zone. But when you say yes, you unlock that door to the next level. And I've been experiencing that so much. And I'm reading a book right now by Yvonne Orji, Bamboozled by Jesus. And she talks about, it's called Bamboozled by Jesus, how God tricked me into the life of my dreams.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it's like just reading her story, because she's an actress, and just reading her story and how God had to trick her into becoming this actress. It just really resonated with me, because just recently I've been seeing how God has been bamboozling me. Okay. Like he's like, I'm going to ask you to do this. And if you say yes, you have no idea what's on the other side of this. And it's something that I normally would have not said yes to, but my yes is just unlocking so many things.
Right. Wow. That's a word right there.
Yeah.
That'll preach, as they say. So I'm curious, Kristen, when we talk about success, how do you define it? Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of Why We Succeed. If you value relationships and believe they are the true key to success, be sure to subscribe. To watch this full discussion and gain access to exclusive content, join our Patreon today. The link is in the description. Thank you, and we'll catch you on the next episode.